my name is Miles Connor, and today I will be talking about the physical geography and the cultural geography of Sub-Saharan Africa from our regional presentation video. Starting off with physical geography, our physical geography of Sub-Saharan Africa is dominated by a series of lowland basins, highland plateaus, and tropical savannas. The lowland basins are landforms that consist of an area of land, usually smaller like prairies, enclosed by higher land such as hills and mountains. Sort of like a crater if you want to think about it. The highland plateaus are an area of highlands, usually consisting of relatively flat terrain that is raised significantly above the surrounding area. There may be one or two areas that are steep that lead up to this plateau as well. The tropical savanna is a savanna which is a rolling grassland scattered with shrubs and isolated trees. They can be found usually between a tropical rainforest, in this case the Congo River Basin rainforest, and between a desert biome, the Sahara Desert. Not enough rain falls on a savanna to support forests, which is why the tropical savanna doesn't necessarily have the lush growth that a rainforest may have. The rainforest is located in between Congo and Zaire, which are next to each other, so it takes up that whole side of that part of Africa. These zones are characterized by a wet summer season and a dry winter season. The dry winter season typically isn't that cold because the continent of Africa is in the center of the earth, which means it's around the equator. The equator gets sunlight all year round, unlike the northern and southern hemisphere. The wet summer season is hot and rainy, just like North Carolina. A fun fact, the Nubian plate and the Somalian plate are two plates that make up the continent of Africa. Relatively speaking, the Somalian plate is the younger of the two plates, and the Somalian plate was created because the oceanic plate and the continental plates came and began to kind of like push up against each other. Well, the oceanic plate cut in and separated off that part of the continental plate, so it kind of created a different one known as the Somalian plate. The plates are currently pulling apart from each other, which means the oceanic plate, that is in between the two plates, is eventually going to connect, and relatively speaking, in a couple million years, we may have a split off from the continent. Another fun fact is that the Mount Kilimanjaro on the Horn of Africa was created by two plates coming together. So the mountain was created by them coming together, but they are currently splitting apart right now, not necessarily in the same area, but the idea of plate tectonics is real, and you can see that. Usually, typically, the plates are coming apart 5 to 7 millimeters annually. Culturally speaking, the Sahel is a cultural transition zone separating Arab Muslim-dominated countries in North Africa and Southern Africa, which is the Southern Sub-Saharan Africa, which is the Christian and animist peoples. They tail off dramatically after you reach the Sahel, which is the area between where the Sahara turns into grasslands and leads into the Congo rainforest. I will provide a map after this presentation showing the dominated northern part and then the dominated southern part. The northern part doesn't really have any coming of Christian or animist people, but the southern part, where there's majority Christian and animist peoples, have little pockets of Islamic areas. Some of the culture groups that exist in Sub-Saharan Africa, provided by Sailor.org, are the Maasai and Yoruba, the Fulani, the Bantu, the Zulu, the Ashanti, the Herero, Kikuyu, Pygmies, Tutsi, and Afrikaner. The Afrikaner are the European colonizers that colonized Africa way back when, and they're the descendants of such. I thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope that you all gained a little bit of knowledge about Sub-Saharan Africa and some of its physical characteristics. And thank you, and have a great day.